was disgusting. I hated it. That's how Holy Madison, once the face of the glitzy Playboy Mansion, described the nights that the world assumed were full of luxury and pleasure. But behind the velvet curtains and glossy magazine covers, the reality was far darker than anyone imagined. Holly's recent revelations aren't just shocking, they completely shatter the fantasy that Hugh Hefner built. For years, Holly Madison was sold to the public as a woman living every dream. Dating the legendary Hugh Hefner, starring in the reality hit The Girls Next Door, and residing in the iconic mansion that seemed to define opulence. But the cameras only showed what they were meant to. Behind the scenes, things were very different. Holly has now made it clear. What people thought was glamorous was actually a nightmare she was forced to endure. When asked about her time at the mansion, Holly didn't hold back. She described the group activities in the bedroom as disgusting, and said she made it very known that she hated being involved. The way she tells it, those nights weren't about love, passion, or even pleasure. They were mechanical, forced, and deeply uncomfortable. In her words, it was something she dreaded, a part of life she had to tolerate just to keep her place in the mansion. Surprisingly, Holly admitted that. Her one-on-one time with Hefner was more normal than you'd think. But normal is relative, especially when there's a 53-year age gap. Critics and trolls constantly mocked her relationship, throwing around comments like old balls in her posts. Holly hit back saying, "I've never seen such a thing," trying to brush off the ridicule, but even in her defense, there's a strange undertone, a mix of denial, deflection, and a desire to move on from something that clearly left a mark. In 2022, she opened up even more, calling her sex life with Hefner not just disappointing, but hell, traumatic. She described how he would lie motionless in bed, like a bump on a log. That image alone tells you how little passion or connection there really was. It wasn't intimacy, it was a performance, a routine, and one that none of the women actually wanted to be a part of. The saddest part, Holly said most of the women just wanted to get it over with as fast as possible. Not because they were shy or insecure, but because they weren't into it. They didn't want to be there. They didn't feel desire, they felt trapped. The bedroom wasn't a place of seduction. It was a task, a toll they had to pay to remain. In Hefner's world, we thought of it as a chore, she said, or else we'll get kicked out. That's not love, that's survival. Her relationship with Hefner finally ended in 2008, and from the outside it looked like she moved on. She married businessman Pay Quayle. Rotella in 2013 had 2 children, a daughter named Rainbow and a son named Forrest. But even with a seemingly perfect new chapter, the ghosts of the mansion followed her. In 2018, she divorced, and while she rarely speaks about her ex, her comments about Hefner have only grown more raw and honest with time. So why is Holly speaking out now, years after leaving the Playboy world behind? The truth is, even after all this time, she's still being dragged online. People still comment on her past, still frame her as the lucky girl who lived in a mansion with a millionaire. But she's tired of the myth. She's done letting people fantasize about a place that, in her words, was more prison than paradise. Her story isn't just about sex or scandal. It's about what happens when the illusion becomes bigger than the truth, when the brand, Playboy, Hefner, the mansion, becomes more important than the people living inside it. Holly's been trying to peel back that curtain for years, but only now are people starting to listen. Because the truth is, the Playboy Mansion wasn't built on freedom and fun. It was built on silence, control, and a carefully crafted illusion that so many were too eager to believe. And if Holly's story is any indication, still a lot more we don't know. If this story surprised you, there's plenty more where that came from. So if you're into the untold, the unexpected, and the stuff they don't want you to know, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.